Hello, you're listening to a preview of a premium episode of Blocked and Reported. This is one of our good ones. When you say that, Katie?
The rare good
They're
one.
mostly bad. This one's good. Katie has done incredible reporting on a UK influencer named Jessica Taylor. I don't even know how to sum this up. You'll hear from the preview. There's some crazy stuff here, but you're definitely going to want to hear the whole thing. If you do, go to blockedandreported.org and become a premium subscriber. You will gain access not only to this, but to a part 3 that will also be up soon. And who knows? Maybe more stuff will come out. Maybe there'll be parts 4, 5, 6, 7. There's no way to know.
Maybe it'll be a movie.
There could be a movie. There could be a play.
I'll play Jessica Taylor. You'll play Jamie the wife.
I'm not doing the grape scene with you. Okay. Enjoy the preview, blockedandreported.org. Bye.
Jesse, there is so much going on right now.
We have so much else to get to, and I shouldn't even say this because who knows when we'll have time to talk about it. But the best thing that has happened to Blocked and Reported in a very, 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 very long time is an arbitrator I can't even get it out, forcing the Washington Post, I guess, to unfire Karen Attiah. So she's now back as a columnist, not because the Washington Post wants her there, but because the arbitrator told him to, which, look, I don't know enough details. I do know that as far as internet drama is concerned, oh my God, this is like sort of it's gonna go down. The one thing I hope doesn't happen is a speedy settlement that allows everyone involved to retain their dignity. That would suck for us.
Totally. We need her back in that office. And for people who have blissfully forgotten this story, Karen Attiah was a columnist who was fired in the aftermath of the Charlie Kirk shooting. What did she say specifically?
Karen is who I saw Karen at a Substack thing recently. I don't have any interpersonal problems with her, but she's very outspoken and she's like really online. And she said, let's just look it up. Why don't we? I should have.
She said she misquoted. She mangled a Charlie Quirk.
Charlie Quirk.
Charlie Kirk is some autist on Twitter.
Yeah, just to remind people, this is from CBS News. One of her posts read, "Refusing to tear my clothes and smear ashes on my face in performative mourning for a white man that espouses violence is ... not the same as violence. If anything, the rush to coddle violent white men is self-protective, that we know they are not used to feeling vulnerable and mortal and will react violently out of fear, and we will all suffer," read another post. And then they fired her on September 11th, which...
That's our September 11th.
During September 11th Pride. Quote, I like this. "Your public comments on social media regarding the death of Charlie Kirk violate the Post's social media policies, harm the integrity of our organization, and potentially endanger the physical safety of our staff," the letter read. And for a second, I was like, that's almost reverse or double reverse wokeness. But
yeah, James Bennett,
safety
New
is
York Times.
I think in this case, given the climate after Kirk was killed, I don't know. It wouldn't shock me if that did lead to direct threats to the Washington Post office from one of their columnists to be doing that. But anyway, she's back now.
Charlie Kirk death 1 was crazy.
Death 1? Are you saying there's going to be a death 2?
No, this is a reference to Woke
1. Oh,
One.
Woke 1. Okay.
Got it?
Yeah, that was okay.
Yeah.
My fault. I'm a little tired. I'm tired, y'all. Anyway, well, I look forward to that. And that might be 5 to 6 or 7 more episodes. So we'll see what happens.
If she takes the job, I mean, they also owe her back pay. And after she was fired, she went quite viral on Substack. Let's see how many Substack subscribers she has now. She has over 56,000 free subscribers. I don't know how that translates financially.
She's in thousands. She's in thousands of paid, not tens of thousands, but that's still solid.
That could be quite a lot of money. And so what she could do is just take the back pay and continue to do her Substack, or she could do a little double dip, do the Substack, go back to the Washington Post, which is obviously what I hope.
They probably don't let you double dick.
Yeah, double dick? No double dicks?
I said dip. You said dick. No,
you said dick.
The funniest thing by far is to walk into that newsroom. Can you imagine?
I'm back.
Can you imagine working well, first of all, I'm sure it's largely remote anyway, but working for a paper that fired you but had to rehire you, there's like some relationship equivalent to that. It's like you're divorced, but you have to stay together for there's no equivalent to that. It would just be crazy. Okay, we have to talk. Do you have any other things to run down, or can we get into this? I'm really excited to hear more about Jessica Taylor.
No, I guess we can. We'll save Inez Cantor's efforts to join the WNBA for a later episode.
Not Inez, Enos.
Enos. Okay. Well, I think if he's transitioning, it's Inez.
He actually does change his name a lot. Like trans people sometimes do.
All right, we will save that for a later episode. We are back with part 2 of our
We're back.
Jessica Taylor PhD extravaganza. If anyone has not listened to part 1, stop what you are doing right now and do that. Jesse, please recap part 1 for me.
Dr. Jessica Taylor.
PhD.
JDMD.
No.
She's a British author. She's not. No defamation. Oh, that's not defamation. That's reverse defamation. We're making up false but positive information. She's a British author and businesswoman. I'd say business person.
Sure.
With a PhD in psychology. She runs a company called Victim Focus. Big online following. She's big in what you described as the VOG space, violence against women and girls. Lot of her public persona is built around being a survivor both of actual horrific assaults and rapes, but also she's a big magnet for online controversy and harassment. She seems to believe mental illness isn't real, that it's just a response to trauma, no such thing as schizophrenia. We talked about that. I don't really understand her views, although I respect them immensely.
P-brain.
She also believes in the satanic ritual abuse stuff, that's a widespread big thing. Oh, she was a TERF, but she was excommunicated from TERFdom. There was a really messed up controversy. She published a story of a survivor of sexual assault named Sally Ann Robinson in her book. She had Sally Ann's consent to write it for some other publication she did, but not to put in the book. And this started a huge fight between the two of them that was, frankly, pretty intense.
Yes, and Sally Ann was not the only person who accused Jessica Taylor of using her story without consent in this book. Another woman came forward, a named woman came forward.
That's not great.
Yeah, but that started this multi-year battle between Sally Ann Robinson and Jessica Taylor. Reports to the police on both sides, legal threats on Jessica Taylor's side. Jessica Taylor got a temporary restraining order, and she's spent years accusing Sally Robinson of lying, of stalking her. And then Robinson, in turn, has spent years trying to get Jessica Taylor canceled.
Yes. And the best way to summarize it, tell me if I'm wrong, is that Sally Ann Robinson is pretty fixated on having felt wronged by Jessica Taylor, Dr. Jessica Taylor, MDJD, but a lot of the claims Jessica Taylor made about this woman, who we should say was a victim of sexual assault, she wrote about in her book, the stalking stuff, for example, was really based on a mangling of the timeline and the evidence. It seems undeniable that whatever you think about the amount of time and effort Sally Ann Robinson has spent, being upset about this, Jessica Taylor has would you say crept right up to the line of making shit up about Sally Ann Robinson, or is that too harsh?
I think that she has, and this is purely my opinion as a citizen of the United States of America.
As the sole proprietor of this business, Perman Media.
Well beyond the reach of British law. In my opinion, she has obfuscated, twisted the story in a way that misrepresents the truth.
Wait, I have a squad goal for us. Do you remember squad goals?
That's when you try to get some legislation passed about healthcare.
Yeah, or you and your friends decide to work out or eat better.
My squad is we're going to try to get down to the end of the beach without anybody breaking a leg or having an arthritic attack.
Your squad is Moose and some of the time your wife. That's not really.
No, I have friends.
You have your old beach walking friends.
Yes.
The racist is dead. I remember.
He's dead.
Shit, I'm sorry.
He's dead. And the new elders are not racist as far as I know, unfortunately.
So you haven't sponge bathed someone in how long? Not counting Moose?
I never did it. It was Jana.
I think our squad goal should be to have this series violate so many of England's idiotic speech laws that when we land at Heathrow for our world tour, if and when that happens, we get arrested by more cops than Glinner did. How
about 7 armed
I want to
police?
beat Glinner at number of cops confronting you and then tweet at him or just make snide comments about him. And yeah. Okay. Is that it? Should we get into the next stuff?
Yes. So this episode is going to be about Jessica Taylor's latest campaign, which is against a UK-based website called Tattle Life. Jesse, we've actually done a Tattle episode before. You weren't here for it. What do you know about Tattle?
It's one of the, who did you do it with in my absence?
Jessica the 80s baby.
Oh, nice. Hey, Jessica. It's a mean snark site where people get together to talk shit about other people.
Yeah, that's it. It's a forum where users, most of whom are women, they get together to gossip. They get together to gossip about influencers and other public figures. And in our episode about Tattle last year, Jessica the 80s Baby told me about a court case where an influencer couple, their names were Neil and Donna Sands, they managed to unmask the site's owner. His name is Sebastian Bond. He's not, in fact, a middle-aged woman.
Sebastian Bond. Yeah, that's funny that the man is running the female-oriented gossip site. Mm-hmm. Oh, how did they unmask Sebastian Bond?
They hired investigators who got it. So the Sands were pretty minor characters on Tattle, but they went on, some characters on Tattle, there'll be thousands and thousands of posts, there'll be millions of words.
What's the website?
Tattle.life.
Okay, wait. Site, Tattle.life, Jesse Single.
You're not on it. You might be on it now that we've done part 1, but I looked. It's not they don't.
Oh, wait, they have one on our first episode of this. They say we're a huge deal, which is not true, but I'll take it.
Yes, the feedback was pretty good, but they say that you sound like Kermit the Frog, objectively true. And then a couple of them think that we are a much bigger deal than we actually are.
They're going to be so disappointed. Wait, I'm drilling us, but Skinner Bell says, my God, Jesse Single and Katie Herzog are a huge deal. I think former New York Times journalist, no?
Totally true.
Or another
totally
American
true.
broadsheet. This is my favorite bit at the end. She's toast. This is it. This is what's going to knock Jessica Taylor off her port.
Okay.
Huge. Surely she can't just ignore it. She'll have to say something. But what could she possibly say that won't make it worse, guys? Guys, drinks. Let's all have some settle down. Yeah. I didn't make up with that. That's from Bill Simmons.
Okay, so back to the Sands. Minor characters on Tattle, but they went on this legal and public relations crusade against the site, and they won at first by default. So Sebastian Bond at the time, he was ordered by the courts to pay the couple £300,000 in damages. Again, default judgment. He did not show up to defend himself in court. His personal assets were also frozen. And in fact, he only found out about the case when his bank account was frozen.
Wait, so what did they sue him for?
Harassment, misuse of private information, breach of data protection rights, and defamation. But the thing is, this was a bit of a Kiwi Farm story because the unmasking of Sebastian Bond and the judgment against him made major news in the UK. This was widely celebrated by people who consider Tattle to be almost akin to terrorism. What made less news was the fact that the ruling was later overturned. So the High Court in Northern Ireland found, quote, egregious and repeated, end quote, failures on the part of the plaintiffs, the Sands, to disclose relevant information to the court. So basically what happened is that the Sands hired this investigator who figured out who Bond was. They didn't reveal to the court that they had the information so he could be served and then defend himself. So he literally did not know that he had been sued until a year after the default judgment was rendered. He didn't have a chance to defend himself. He tries to get money out of the bank and his bank account is frozen. And because of that, the judgment was overturned.
I also just got to say, like, this reminds me of like our Section 230 and the protections we have in place that make it so, like, someone says mean shit about you on the website, you can't go after the owner of that website. Because, like, if you extrapolated this, it would make a large chunk of the internet not exist. Right.
And this is something that is bipartisan on the part of American Democrats and Republicans to reform, if not completely overturn Section 230. So we, in the future, it is conceivably possible that we would have a situation much closer to.
There's so much money at stake. I doubt it, but we'll see.
Anyway, the Sands have an appeal in the works, but as of right now, Bond doesn't have to pay anything and his assets were unfrozen. Plus, the site is still up and running. So it's not even like Kiwi Farms in the sense that they have to, like, Kiwi Farms has to jump around from URL to URL, dodging attacks. Tattle is running fine.
Is it like tonally similar to Kiwi Farms, or is it like as mean and slurry?
No, I've never actually seen a slur on Tattle, but there are probably some British ones. I don't know. It's similar in the sense that tattlers have their own personal lolcows who they dissect and make fun of, but it is way less offensive than Kiwi Farms. Someone in our comment section on the last episode called it PG-13 Kiwi Farms. I think that's apt. And unlike Kiwi Farms, there is active moderation. There are rules. For one, no doxing. So if someone's address gets posted, it gets reported and removed quickly. But influencers hate this site.
And just to be clear, Kiwi Farms has a shitload of doxing.
Yes.
In case anyone's less
absolutely.
familiar.
Yes. Many an influencer has tried to take down Tattle or celebrated its demise prematurely, it turns out. And one of those influencers is Jessica Taylor. So
Dr. JT herself?
PhD.
PhD, MD.
She wrote this on her Substack in 2025. The post was called "The End of Tattle Life and the Beginning of Justice for Hundreds of Victims of Stalking." So here's how...
Has she ever disagreed with someone who didn't subsequently stalk her? She seems like the most stalked person on the planet.
I think that's Patrick Tomlinson, but she's number 2.
I forgot about Patrick.
Okay, so here's how she describes the site. Jesse, read this.
Think mass organized social care complaints claiming they are a danger to their own kids. Mass complaints to their employer. I guess she's talking about the victims of Tattle. Mass complaints to their employers to get them sacked and investigated, using templates they all created to make it faster to cause maximum damage, organized stalking and harassment, monitoring their every waking moment, addresses shared, car registration plates, schools, family members' names, kids' photos, driving victims to the brink of suicide or actual suicide attempts, and then laughing about it and enjoying watching their victims break down. Accusations that their victims are criminals, committing tax fraud, grooming children, abusing their partners, scamming clients, exploiting strangers, having STDs, cheating on their partners, and everything you can ever think of. Stealing personal photos or data and spreading it on the site to intimidate their victims. Doxing their victims' families and children, naming everything from schools to distant relatives in an attempt to make the victim feel like absolutely nothing in their lives is safe or private anymore.
Yeah, she also says in her book that Tattle users have posted deepfake porn on the site.
Is what she's saying accurate?
So I'm not a regular Tattle reader. I've spent a lot of time there in the last month prepping for this story, but that's just peeking in the window. Luckily, I know someone who is or who was a regular Tattle user. That's Jessica, the 80s baby. So there are so many fucking Jessies and Jessicas in the site. One of you needs to change a name. But our Jessica has spent a lot of time on the site, particularly during COVID lockdown. She talked about it when she was on this show before, so if anyone wants to hear her expand on the appeal of Tattle, link in the show notes. But I asked her if Jessica Taylor's description of Tattle, how that compares to her own experience, and she said this: "A lot of Tattle is people poking fun at public figures. Some of it is malicious, sure, but the threads are characterized by in-jokes and humor, admittedly mean girl humor. I did occasionally see posters doxing addresses, but these posts were usually deleted quickly, and they had more of an air of figuring out a challenge. Could you find someone's address just from their social media post, rather than planning to pay a deep web assassin to pop around and shoot them?" And she mentioned that this happened frequently enough on the Jack Monroe thread. So Jack Monroe, this was another influencer we did a show on. I'll link in the show notes to that one too. The mods, that happened often enough that the mods told them to stop. From what I can tell, Sebastian Bond, the owner, he takes doxing seriously. He doesn't want people to do it. It makes the site vulnerable. But some users seem to think that figuring out where people live is a game. And, I've actually done this before, not even maliciously, but there's a van life influencer I follow who bought a piece of land, and I wanted to know how much she paid for it. So I looked up, I found it on Zillow. I looked for the clues. I figured it out. I wouldn't have posted it, but I didn't feel like I was doing anything particularly evil. She overpaid, by the way, can't build on it, never moved to San Diego. Jesse, how bad do you think that is? How great a moral sin?
Of you?
Yeah.
I think you're a bad person in general. I'm going to interpret everything through that lens.
But just you you figure out where someone lives. How bad is that? And we're not talking phone book.
It depends what you do with that information.
Nothing. You do nothing with that information.
Yeah, I'll let you. You can find out anyone you want where they live, as long as you don't sick moose on them.
Thank you. Well, he would just cuddle them.
What was there actual deepfake porn on Tattle?
So that claim comes from Jessica's new book, which we're going to get into. I am skeptical of this for a few reasons. So Sebastian Bond told me he's never seen deepfake porn on the site. If someone did post porn of any kind, it would surely be reported and then deleted, and the user would be warned. And if they did it again, they would be banned. That's what Bond told me. And he also said this: "The site is monetized by Google, and they send a daily email with content to check that's been deemed not advertiser friendly. As you can imagine, they're very strict. Beach photos of influencers get flagged, as does a lot of discussion around trans. While every message isn't checked, I'm pretty sure porn would show up on their constant checks." It also just doesn't really fit with the ethos of the site. There is shit talking, cruelty, speculation, misinformation, all of that. But porn seems pretty male for this site.
Guys do like porn.
Yeah.
I've never seen it, but I've
No, me neither.
Yeah.
By the way, another Tattle regular pointed out something to me that I'm not sure is true at Kiwi Farms. Maybe it is. I don't know. But this person told me that Tattle tends to be pretty self-policing.
I think Kiwi Farms does have some don't touch the poo self-policing, where if someone's I delivered pizzas to this person's house, people are like, dude, don't touch the poo.
Yeah. No one is going to scold anyone else for using too many slurs on Kiwi Farms.
No, if anything, you get scolded for not using enough slurs. Yeah.
So to Tattle users, including our own former Tattle user, the public perception of Tattle as this hub for wine moms who gang stalk and terrorize micro celebrities in their spare time, this is just wrong. They see themselves very differently. They see themselves more like sleuths who are engaging in legitimate criticism of public figures.
Well, it is more likely they would see themselves than as gang stalking lunatics. Wait, so what does her Jessica Taylor's book mentions Tattle? The new one mentions Tattle, or it's about Tattle?
It's about Tattle. It's called Click, Stalk, Destroy, Inside the Minds of People Who... Yeah.
You know who's probably not going to like this book?
Jessica Taylor?
Tattle.
Oh, yes. I think
it's weird exchange.
I think that's true, yes.
Let's just keep going.
It's called Click, Stalk, Destroy, Inside the Minds of People Who Stalk Online. It's about Tattle. It's about online stalking in general, but with a real focus on Tattle, particularly the online stalking of Jessica Taylor.
That's always that's the best journalism. So my book on youth gender medicine, it's 300 pages of just people being mean to me. There's no sort of outside reporting. Have you read this?
I have, as says Jessica, the 80s baby. The book starts out with the story of Jennifer. This is a pseudonym. Jessica says...
And this person is real?
To be determined.
No defamation.
Jessica Taylor says that Jennifer is one of her stalkers. And Jennifer was in this group of women who met online, and then they moved to WhatsApp and Zoom, where they plotted to take Jessica Taylor down. So let's read a bit from the beginning. Jesse, please read this.
Jennifer took another sip of wine and flicked over to the Instagram app. How did she know when Jennifer took a sip of wine and when?
Great question.
She had been. This is like the beginning of. Sorry, not to derail us again. Early on in Jason Arday's book, when he's like, I couldn't really talk or think. Also, I was 4. My mom was wearing a light blue blouse when she opened the shades on the morning of March 23rd. Anyway,
Jennifer couldn't talk, but he was taking meticulous notes for a future memoir.
Jennifer took another sip of wine and flicked over to the Instagram app. Just in terms of the no defamation front, I have not read all of Arday's book. Maybe he at some point says it's...
I don't think he'll be suing you.
Well, his estate could. She had been watching the profile for weeks. Does Jessica mean Jennifer's been watching silently, carefully, never engaging, never commenting or liking anything, just watching her. There's no way she's talking about herself. No. Just watching her, hating her more and more each day.
This is Jennifer, not Jessica.
No, I know, but there's no... Okay, let me finish. Stop interrupting me. She had never wanted someone to suffer so much in her life. And now it seemed that she had found others who felt the same way. My question, what I'm trying to ask is, Jessica, first of all, Jessica is writing about when Jennifer took another sip of wine and how did she have cameras inside Jennifer's house? And the person Jennifer hates, is that Jessica Taylor herself?
Yes.
Wait, so she's trying to get inside the head of someone, one of her cyber stalkers, but referring to her in the herself in the third person.
Yes.
Okay.
And then it moves into what appears to be a transcript from WhatsApp conversations between Jennifer and her new stalker friends. So Jesse, continue. Read this.
Samantha, she is evil. I know people who know her. I could say so much about her, and I will. I'll tell everyone everything. We just need to strategize. Jane, I was thinking that we should set up a website about her. If we hide our details behind a fake name... That's not really how.
Keep going.
She won't be able to get it taken down. Naomi, easier to just set up fake social media profiles. Jane, yeah, true. We could do both. Samantha, we can, but it's got to be bigger than that. We have her address, phone numbers, emails, and we know everything about her. Her wife, her kids, her family, her work, who her friends are. I know plenty of people who hate her. We could fucking ruin her. Also, I like Hitler. Okay, that last part I made up.
So her, of course, yes, is Jessica Taylor.
Jessica Taylor. Yeah. How did she... I'm not saying this is impossible, but how does Jessica Taylor say she got these chat logs?
She says that someone in Jennifer's group.
That's it. That's all you get. If you want to hear the rest, and I promise you do. This is incredible work by Katie. blogtreport.org. Become a premium subscriber. I got nothing else to say. I'm speechless. Bye.